Missed call from MJ. Doctor, I need to go, but I'll be back later.
Don't worry, the work will still be here when you get back.
What's that?
And welcome back to more Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4. Org. Gotta add the or. I don't know. Going to Coliseum, the Ori region, killing time to the Kodak.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. We still on for dinner?
Dinner? Oh, yeah. I was calling you about something else, but yeah, we should talk over dinner.
Offer still stands for me to come over and cook.
Oh, really? Well, I like to take risks. I'm still out, but I'll grab some stuff at the store and let you know when I'm home.
Okay, talk soon. All right, dinner at MJ's. No expectations. It'll be hard to screw this one up. Guess I'll just freelance for a while until she calls.
MJ sure has been acting kind of weird in these past few phone calls, like being really quiet and trying to end the calls fast. I wonder why.
I love making you chase me, Spider. Someday I might even let you catch me. Just not today.
Black Cat is such a tease in this game. Like, if she breathes, she's a thought, you know? And, I can't read what the other one is. Like, if she's something, she's a queen.
Cat does enjoy
I don't
playing
know.
games with people. Especially me.
No, it's all women are queens, and it's, if she breathes, she's a thought! You know, I love that video. That kind of hurts your throat when doing that. All black cats are queens! You know, that's a random reference, and I'm probably killing the joke. But yeah, in the last episode, we actually, met up with Octavius, and we found out that we finally got one of our experiments to work, which is pretty rad.
Today is a day for somber reflection. For mourning, honoring fallen heroes like Jefferson Davis. But it's also a day to vow never again. It stops here. Some people say I blame everything on Spider-Man. Well, I don't blame him for the bomb. That cowardly act is squarely the responsibility of whoever committed it. And if we're gonna keep New York safe, we can no longer tolerate the kind of lawlessness Spider-Man and his ilk represent. This is our city. By God, we're gonna take it back.
You see, that's actually a really good codec, I think, because you listen, or not codec, but like podcast, because you listen to all the podcasts, from J. Jonah Jameson earlier, and it's mostly him being like, oh, Spider-Man's terrible, blah, 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 you know? But in this, he's like, you know what? He was like, I don't like Spider-Man. He's like, even I know that he wouldn't do, like, bombings like that. So he's definitely, while he's kind of crazy and dumb, you know, he's not that stupid, and he has a soft spot. Like, even he can be like, you know, the stuff that happened with Jefferson Davis is a tragedy and never should have happened. And I don't know, I just really like that podcast a lot. It's one of my more favorite ones in the game, but that's another one of the Crime Towers done. We actually only... Well, before we go, I go on. This episode, we will be finishing up, getting the rest of the backpack. So after this, we're done. No more side stuff.
And that's that. Every crime tower in the city's now repaired.
Pretty good work, right?
Pretty good, yeah.
Good enough that maybe you'd let a certain someone celebrate with us?
Fine, but make it quick.
The odds were long, the danger close. But between Spider Cop's reckless intuition and the Chief's determined planning, they got the job done.
Aw, that's kind of sweet.
A pairing of opposites, like peanut butter and chocolate, or breakfast for dinner. The two work together.
And we're done. Talk to you later, Spider Cop.
She's coming around, right? Yeah, definitely.
Thank God, our hero, the amazing Spider Cop of Justice, returned one last time after finishing the Towers of Evil. Oh, I love that.
Hey, MJ.
All right, I picked up a bunch of stuff at the store. Can't wait to see what you come up with.
Swinging over now. Prepare to be amazed. The infamous dumpling recipe. Should have come with step 10. Try not to burn everything in MJ's apartment.
I do love that. That was just really good timing when we talk about the NJ, like, the meeting up to have dinner, and we immediately find the dumpling recipe. A little fun thing about that is, I believe this is a thing in Insomniac where they have, like, I'm trying how to put this. It's either they have a level that's so bad, or there was a moment in the game that was so bad, so they call it the dumpling recipe, and they make a big deal because it's like, oh, there was a part of the game that was really bad. And that's actually a common thing that Insomniac will do. If you, I cannot for the life of me think of what the channel is on YouTube, if it's still up, but there was a channel a long time ago that was made by people who worked at Insomniac, and they, like, would bring up, like, specifically I'm thinking of Ratchet & Clank 2. Like, there's a level in Ratchet & Clank 2 that is unanimously, most people consider it the worst level in the game, and it is pretty much one of the worst levels in the game, even I will agree. And they will bring up, like, they actually give awards for the worst levels in the game, so, like, I cannot think of what the level name is, but it's the, like, the Ice World from that game. And that's something Insomniac tends to do. They, like, try to reference, like, the bad things that happen, like, the more poorly created things is what I should say, in their games, which I do like. I think it's pretty cool. But yeah. And I should clarify, I said earlier, like, after this, no more side stuff. We still will be doing, like, research stations and some other things pop up. I am gonna show, because I'm sure some people, maybe be confused. There are side missions in this game, and I'm gonna show 2 of them. Most of the side missions I don't really like, but there's 2 particular that actually involve some villains that I do want to show off. So I will show that either post-game, because I've actually finished recording the footage for this, and I didn't think about doing those. I'll either do it post-game, or I'll somehow edit it in before we do the final boss. It might be post-game, though. I don't know. It depends. How I feel that day. But still. Yeah, I am really glad, going back, that Spider Cop is back, so yeah. Yeah, I really hope in this sequel they just bite the bullet and just make a Spider Cop costume, because I know the people will probably, I'm sure they knew people would find it funny, but probably not as funny as, like, people actually did. Spider Cop's just great, I don't know. That's one thing I do worry in the next game, like, how they're gonna do so many costumes and what they're gonna do, but, you know, there's probably a lot to go with.
Hey, Pete. This station's one of my pet projects. I always thought the cellular network was vulnerable to terrorist attacks, so I set this up to monitor it. Can you do me a favor? Look for anything suspicious.
Uh-oh. It's not terrorists, but there's a glitch in the system that's causing interference. And if I don't fix it, it'll bring the whole network down. Right now, it's only affecting the most sensitive equipment, like mine. I need to stay outside the areas of interference while I fix the cell towers.
So, this research station's weird. So, from what I'm assuming is what's going on, and I might be wrong on this, Peter basically goes into the network. He becomes one with the network. It's what I'm guessing, because obviously, as you can see, I'm taking damage here, and you're getting in, like, the negative areas of the network you shouldn't be getting in, and it causes, like, your, gadgets and obviously anything to freak out, and you don't want that. This blue wave of electricity will lower itself and sometimes get higher, so you definitely don't want that. But basically what we're going to be trying to do, as you can see, we're going to be going to cell towers to ensure that the network will not crash, because we don't want that, obviously.
Helicopters to swing.
Yeah.
So much depends on cellular networks now. A crash would affect police, hospitals. It'd be as bad as a blackout. Gotta hurry. Soon the whole system's gonna go.
And see, people nerd today are like, back in my day, we didn't need computers, you know? But I'm like, now, I'm like, yeah, but look what computers can do now. He just brought up, if a computer system goes down, or the network, hospitals, banks, a lot of things will be in trouble, and we don't need that, you know? And I'm gonna go, like, on a semi-rant here, because where I work at, we have people complain, like, oh, you know, computers are taking away jobs. And I'm not trying to get political, but that really brings in more jobs. IT major, just saying, but, you know, that's my mini little rant for the day. I'm just saying, computers are more important than you think. We need them in our daily lives, because it helps out in the world a lot, so, yeah. But I do like this whole research station really reminds me of the Spider-Man PS1 game. Mostly because you're going from, like, rooftops and you're having to swing. Because, like, in that game, there's, like, a smog, like a cloud. I don't remember actually what it was called. I just call it, like, the Mist. That's what it is. It's literally the Mist movie, but it's Spider-Man. I'm gonna make that a thing one day, I swear. But, it's basically that, and this whole thing reminds me, because, like, you can't get lower, like, down by this, because you'll take damage. In that game, you just die, but this you can't do, and it really reminds me of that game a lot. I really do love the Spider-Man PS1 game. It's definitely aged a lot, but it's still a really good time, and it's really something, like, I do recommend trying out if you're just kind of interested in it. It's pretty fun.
Bam! Now New Yorkers can share their domestic disputes on the subway again. And emergency services are safe, which is, you know, also important. If the network had crashed, it would have cost Oscorp a bundle to fix their comms. They'll want to keep this station up and running. Harry's project should be safe.
So hooray! We did a good thing. But yeah, that is actually probably one of my more favorite research stations. One, because it's running on Spider-Man PS1, and two, it's actually a different one compared to the others. And the more diverse you can kind of get these things, I assume, is probably the better. I do... No, let me rephrase... Let me put that in a different way. When it's, like, stuff like that, I don't mind when you do different things, as long as they're not, like, too different. It's more when you have a game like Kingdom Hearts Recoded, where there's different gameplay for each world, that I'm not big on, because it's like, I just want to play Kingdom Hearts, you know? It's still similar. I just want something that's still similar to the main gameplay, and that's what I like with these research stations, because you're still doing, like, Spider-Man abilities, but you're doing, like, different tasks with it. With, like, Recoded, you're doing different gameplay, and some of them just aren't fun, or just not very, yeah, I'm just gonna say fun. Like, specifically, the one I'm trying to think of is probably the Alice in Wonderland one, which is like a maze. I wasn't too big on that one, and you have, like, the little shooty sections. It's, nah.
I have to tell you, Triple J, I used to...
Superheroing doesn't leave much time for good hygiene. Gotta get it where I can.
And sorry, the J. Jonah Jameson podcast ended. I hate when I do that, because I don't mean to do it, it just happens, and it's annoying.
Black Cat's been here. She was doing this in person the first time I caught her. Or did she catch me? This can't just be some elaborate flirtation. Hasn't she heard of dating apps? She's up to something.
Yeah, I mean, Black Cat is a pretty enough character. She really could just sign up for Tinder if she was really that interested, but that's just me.
There it is. That's Ty Stone's place, and it's full of priceless art. You're playing with fire, Felicia. I guess that's how you roll.
I mean, cats are quite, like, stealthy and sneaky. Like, my cat, he loves just to, like, he'll do something and he'll just stare at me. Like, he's like, what do you want, human? And, yeah, he's strange, but, yeah.
Active robbery of an armored vehicle.
And see, this backpack is one of the more annoying ones to get, because you're trying to, like, get in that exact spot where you can reach that backpack, and it won't let you, because Spider-Man shoots over it every single time, and you can always just do, like, a zip and, like, get right to it, but Lance in the Past, the future Link to the Past LP title, wasn't thinking of that.
People know my parents died in a plane crash, but I still can't tell anyone they were government agents. Wish I knew more about them. I wish anyone did.
See, okay, so I'm gonna start this out here and say, as I brought up several times before, I'm not, like, super big into Spider-Man comics. I've read a bit of Ultimate, that's about it, and I have, like, a few issues of Amazing. The Peter parents thing has always confused me, because in some scenarios, I'm pretty sure they're, like, members of S.H.I.E.L.D. or some other government agency, but in other ones, they're not. It's like the Amazing movies, Peter's parents just disappear. You never find out what happens to them until, well, we didn't until, like, the, those leaks talking about, like, the future Amazing movies where they got canceled, what they were gonna be. It's like Gwen Stacy comes back to life, and Spider-Man can bring people back to life, and just weird crap like that. And I'm pretty sure he was either gonna try to bring his parents back, or they were gonna show up, or his dad specifically.
Spidey Squad. My one and only fan club. When Jameson's going off on me, it helps to remember they're out there.
I'll get into the Spidey Squad because there's actually some cool trivia about that. But it's like Peter's parents, they're such a weird thing for me. Like, I feel like whenever they do try to bring them in, like, I've never read the issues with them, but the reasonings that I've heard never make any sense, and they're just weird. Like, I know his dad sort of comes back in Ultimate, but he's like a clone, and then, like, when Stacy comes back because she's dead or considered dead at that point, and then she has the Carnage symbiote, that animation's awesome. But yeah, it's weird. Gwen as Carnage, I know what they're going for with that, but still, it's strange. I don't know. But I know, like, Gwen eventually becomes, like, a lot of heroes. Like, I know she eventually becomes, like, a Spider-Woman and Gwenpool and stuff like that. So I think it's just kind of like a meme now, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, Spider-Gwen is really popular. I don't know if Gwenpool, like, is... Like, I've never heard many people talk about Gwenpool. I want to give it a shot if it is good, because I like Deadpool. I like Gwen Stacy, so probably together they're probably really good. But, yeah. But the Peter Parents thing is weird. I've never really understood it, honestly. But, getting into, like, the Spidey Squad, the Spidey Squad was created by a guy on, he's either on YouTube or just on the internet by the name of Evan. I couldn't find more about this guy. I need to actually look more up, admittedly. Where he made, like, a lot of videos just talking about, like, this game, like, since it got revealed at E3. And, he just made, like I said, a bunch of videos about it. And Insomniac actually noticed this and was like, you know, we gotta reference this guy. And he actually called his, like, community, I guess, the Spidey Squad, which is pretty rad. I really like that Insomniac added him into it.
This piece of Mysterio's helmet gave me ideas for my eye lenses. Go ahead, sue me, fishbowl head.
I really want Mysterio in the next game, like, so bad. Mysterio is such a fun villain, and I feel like there's a lot you can do with him in a game like this, and it would just be cool.
Rejected costume designs.
And, yeah, I like this little reference where he has, like, all the designs, so that's really neat. But I definitely, like, when it comes to villains, I want the game, I really want Mysterio in the sequel really bad. Like, Mysterio and, I guess Venom, you know. I like Venom. I just feel like he's in a lot of the games, but still, he'll be cool to see, like, how they adapt him later on in this, like, universe. But Mysterio is the big one that I want, and I definitely think it's going to happen with him being in Far From Home. Depending on how they're going to cover that in Far From Home, I don't know. But I think it'll be good. I don't know. I just feel like they'll handle him pretty well.
A spider signal. Cool idea, but any light source that made it bright enough was also way too hot. Someday, though.
I do like the spider signal. It's pretty cool. But yeah, like, Mysterio's definitely the one. Like, Mysterio, Sandman, the Lizard, and, who's another Spider-Man villain that I really want? I don't see them doing Carnage. I feel like Carnage will be saved for a third game. I feel like Venom will probably be the main villain in the next game. And then Carnage will either be a DLC or he'll be the villain for the third game. I'd be fine with either one, honestly. I just don't want them to get, like, too crazy with symbiotes.
Avengers Tower is so cool, but they're never around to use it.
I love that little reference. It's a good, like, explanation of, like, why they're not in this game. It's really neat. My favorite thing to do in this game is to jump off of the Avengers Tower and just dive to the floor and then, like, shoot a web or take a selfie. It's just cool, like, taking a selfie in front of, like, the big A. It's just neat. I don't know. I really like it a lot.
Still not sure if opening this would set the Sandman free, but I'm in no hurry to find out.
It's talking about the Avengers. I know Square Enix is making a game. Apparently Crystal Dynamics, I think, is the team that's making it, even though we haven't heard anything about the game in, like, 3 years. Maybe longer than that. It is genuinely surprising to me. And I'm not going to count things like the Marvel vs. Capcom, like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. I'm genuinely surprised we have never had an Avengers video game, like a big one. Considering those movies make so much money, how they haven't made like an Avengers video game is beyond me. Because it would make a lot of money. Like, you give, like, a really good team to make that, and it'd be perfect. Like, I don't know, it's weird. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, Marvel doesn't really do, like, licensed games anymore. Like, they do, like, this, but I'm talking, like, the movie licensing. Like, we had the Captain America game and the Thor game, and apparently Thor DS is really good. And I've heard that Captain America game is not bad either, but it's still strange.
I got an interesting tip today. Remember that barbaric beast named the Rhino? Apparently last night he almost escaped from his cell in the raft. How, you ask? Well, no one there seems to know, but they assure me he's been...
After I got my powers, I didn't need my glasses anymore. Told everyone I got laser eye surgery with money from the Fisk Science Prize.
I do like that one a lot. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, if I could not wear glasses anymore, I would totally do it. And we have a new suit. Oh, I love this suit a lot. Well, there we go. Good old goggle eyes. But now it's time to cover what you get for finishing all the backpacks. But we were done with all the backpacks. Hallelujah. But this is the homemade suit. So the homemade suit is a suit that is modeled after the suit in which Peter makes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's first seen in Captain America Civil War, and is later on used in Spider-Man Homecoming. And because it's such a basic and, like, weird-looking suit, it actually has no suit power. But we actually will be we'll actually be using the Homecoming suit in the next episode as we get back more into the story, and it's quite chaotic, I'll just put it that way. And we're going to be fighting some of the demons, so look forward to that. And I will see you guys next time.